Ruston Kelly, welcome to Canada.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm in Canada.
Yeah, how's it feel?
I mean, we just got here about 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
But the air and weather is like already 100 times better.
It's unreal. It's so good today.
It's really nice today.
Yeah, you got a little workout today before the show?
I did, yeah. I gotta do that.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's my everything's fine, at least like I can deal with it fine.
Okay.
Type thing.
Yeah.
I gotta do it first thing in the morning.
Bit of stretching, bit of yoga.
I mean, more just stretch. You know that like when you stretch and like it's almost past the point where it's like painful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just like try to stay in that zone.
Okay.
And then just like feel myself lengthening. Feels pretty good.
So the pre-show ritual begins the morning of.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, when I'm on tour, I'm pretty business. You know,
Okay.
I'm like, I come out here to do it, and I don't know if it's different for other artists, but it seems to require a bit of like a lot of focus, a lot of things to like in a routine way to kind of knock down for me to put on the best show possible.
I've been looking at the tour poster
Yeah.
for Too Chill to Kill all week.
Sick.
Do you struggle to get tour bus insurance these days? Can you talk to me about this image and how this happened? This is real.
It is real. That the tour poster was a real incident that happened. We were in Pennsylvania in the States. We were opening for Noah Kahan, and we were traveling in between. I can't remember wherever we were at, but it was Intercourse, Pennsylvania was the name of the town, which is amazing for so many reasons. But it was like 7 a.m. and we were riding on the bus. Everybody was asleep, and I just like woke up to hearing like screaming, and I thought maybe I was like dreaming or whatever. I opened my eyes and I pulled my bunk curtain open, and the entire like sleeping area was filled with smoke, and the bus driver was screaming. The bus driver was going, "Get off the bus is on fire." So we all scrambled out of our bunks, and we're all like essentially nude, I mean, I didn't have my contacts in, no one had their we just got off the bus for fear of explosion. So we're all there's 8 dudes on the side of the highway naked in Intercourse, Pennsylvania. Naturally. And people are driving by like, what is going on? And we're just like in this zombie days. And so the bus driver, the smoke died down, and he was like, well, maybe it's some other issue, like it's not on fire, like whatever, malfunction. Why don't you run back on board and everybody just grab your essentials and we'll get the rest of your stuff to you, after we get it fixed.
Bad idea.
Well, we all run back on board, cover our noses, just grab our essentials, and then run off. And no joke, within 5 minutes of being off the bus and the smoke had died down, flames burst out of the windows and the bus fucking exploded.
It looks like something from Final Destination.
Dude, okay, so what's really amazing about that actual picture is we were walking down. I didn't know the bus was about to explode, obviously. And just out of just the sheer fact that this is happening, I was just like, okay. And my drummer had gone across the street to document it, and he took a picture right at that moment when I did that and right when the bus exploded. It was epic, honestly.
You'll never forget it.
No, I'll definitely never forget it.
How does it feel to have the most expensive tour poster ever made?
It feels pretty, I don't know. It makes me feel like Guns N' Roses or something, but without the heroin.
How are you going to top the next one? That's what I want to know.
I know. I guess we'll just have to set a double-decker bus on fire.
Congratulations on the EP, obviously Weakness, etc.
Yep.
Not ETC.
Nope. Etc.
Okay.
In addition,
you made it quite clear online that this wasn't just the leftovers, what was remaining from the actual album, but how did this come together, and was this always the plan?
Yeah. I mean, for all the records that I make, there's a highly intentional and sculpted, cohesive narrative to it. I want to be able to tell a very complete and fluid story as just like a record of the events that occurred in my life at that time and my, observations and expression of them. However, you know, in the recording process, like sometimes you have to throw paint at the wall. And some of these songs, like the ones that are fully produced on the EP that didn't make it on the LP, were some of the first songs like that we recorded, me and Nate, the producer. So we really liked them. But as far as like the story that I wanted to tell, you know, lyrically and sonically, they didn't fully fit in. So I wanted to include them, and then also some acoustic versions because, you know, I just wanted to give fans and myself like a moment to remind where it all came from, you know, because it comes from me sitting down and playing guitar.
Which song on there was the hotel version?
Cold Black Mile.
Did you add that reverb on there after, or is it just,
no,
was that the way the room sounded? It's amazing.
It was part of the room, and it was part of this like shitty little recorder that I have. It's battery operated, and so like any effects on it are like, I wouldn't say that they're increased, but like I don't really know much about the technical side of it, but I know that like it's of such poor quality, it'll translate the way it's going to translate, is how it was relayed to me. But yeah, I love that recording because I had to time it because the cleaning lady was coming, and I heard her vacuum, and I paid attention enough to know how long her vacuum was going to be on in between rooms. So I waited until she'd done it, and then push record, and luckily got it in that take with the windows open.
That's amazing. Do you remember where the hotel was?
Yeah, I was in South Pasadena, not Intercourse.
Okay.
Definitely wasn't in Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
You mentioned just before that you obviously opened up for Noah Kahan. He's one of your longtime friends. Did you know he was going to be here in Canada at the same time as you?
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool. He's doing 12 shows. How come you're only doing...
And, well, I'm not sure. Well, because where are we going after this? I don't know, the routing. I haven't played anywhere other than Toronto and in Canada yet.
You're going to Portsmouth,
New Hampshire.
Yes.
Yeah. Like lobster rolls and shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
You big seafood guy?
Yeah.
Me too.
I am.
Yeah.
Like that's my preferred protein.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like, you know, a slab of raw fish.
You would love Halifax, Nova Scotia. Ever been there?
Oh, man. Okay, no, but I want to.
It's the best. I went recently for the first time.
Halifax.
Yeah.
What a cool name.
It is cool.
That is pretty cool.
You and I have something quite cool in common as well. That,
okay.
You know, a lot of people that get to work in family businesses, you know, I've got friends that work for their dads.
Yeah.
Not many people get to do the same thing as their dad and have that shared passion.
Yeah.
I got into radio because my dad was a broadcaster and is a broadcaster
That's cool.
over in the UK. So
what? That's cool.
Yeah. So I kind of related a lot to you when you tell stories about, you know, your dad being a songwriter and working with your dad and being able to critique each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I love doing, bouncing ideas off of my dad. You can't really explain it to anyone else. No one really gets it because they, you know, a lot of people, I've got friends I grew up with, they don't really know what their dad did at work.
Yeah. I think he worked at Initech.
Yeah. I don't know. He pays the bills. But, but it's quite cool to have that. You don't take it for granted, obviously.
Nah, definitely not. That was kind of hard won, you know, in a lot of ways because my dad was very, he worked really, really hard, and he, you know, I didn't know all this till later, but him winning Bob Hope's national songwriting competition and getting offered, like, you know, it was like American Idol back then. It was the package deal. You get a record deal and booking agent and management, and he turned it down, which is he said no to the dream. I don't know if that had a lot to do with being raised by Depression era parents, where it's like, you know, around that time, 1971,
the non-traditional career.
Yeah, that's not really going to fly. And no one had really proven that that's like, you know, a successful career path. And he had just met my mother and had fallen in love. So he, you know, he deferred his own dream to take care of his family. And, you know, I didn't really know what that totally meant to me until when we went the second time we played in Los Angeles. We did 2 nights at the Troubadour, and he was like, "Oh, I used to come here all the time." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Oh, I lived in East LA for 6 to 8 months." He had this moment where he's like, "Maybe I will be a musician." And he would go to the Troubadour, and it was like part of his dream to go and play on that stage. And then we were setting up, you know, and we're sitting there, and I'm just like realizing that in this lifetime I've been given the opportunity to be somewhat of a conduit for him to reclaim some of those things that he wanted a long time ago.
That's amazing.
It's really like that. Honestly, that's the biggest accomplishment I think I'll ever make.
That's so cool. Was it quite an easy sell then for your parents to be like, yeah, you can do this, no problem, like it's fine? I remember like when I told my dad I was going to do radio, he was like, yes. My mom was like, oh, not another one. No.
It wasn't. They I was 19 when I got offered a contract with Paradigm to be on their roster for them to full-time book me as an artist. I was in a jam band called Elmwood, and we were playing like Dave Matthews type shit, and we signed with them and said, okay, they're like, we have a tour that's starting in 2 weeks that needs support. Are you guys ready? And we can line up this year for you. So I said, yeah. And I went to my parents and I told them I was going to drop out, and go and do the thing. And they're like, I don't think so. And I was like, I think so. I got to. And I'm going to do this. I hope that you guys support me, but if you don't, I'm going to do it anyways. And they came around to it, they came around to it. And, that was part of the difficulty with all of the addiction and the substance abuse is like, that was so separate from me wanting to pursue music and my goals and my dreams. But I was kind of embarrassed about the fact that maybe, if I needed to reach out to them for help, which I did, but I didn't. Because I told them that I was going to do this, and here I am like crawling back. But what I mean by hard won was Dad and I, we never had a strained relationship and we've always been close, but it wasn't until, through the difficulties, like I can't imagine seeing your son, suffering and abusing himself. And I didn't know how much of a toll that had on my dad until like my mom would tell me, but I did know that everything felt like it was okay and going to be okay whenever we'd play music together.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's the name of the tour, Too Chill to Kill. You are very chill. You just seem like a very easygoing guy.
I hope so.
And you're so easy to talk to and so easy to hang out with. Do people ever get kind of caught off guard by the way you are in real life and then the way you are in songwriting mode? And you can get quite somber and quite not sad, but like emotional and let yourself, let the emotions pour out.
I think maybe there's a bit of an expectation sometimes of like, if you just listen to my music, it's like, is this guy going to be like one of those guys? Is this guy going to be like one of those like dark weirdos that's like hard to talk to and is kind of rude and, but that's like how I balance it out. And that's also a part of the live show is, yes, I'm aware that I'm playing these songs that are dealing with some like pretty heavy topics. But, as we're talking right now, like that's how I converse with the audience. So it's this kind of balancing act. I'm not sure if it's an emotional roller coaster, but there's something to that when I feel like I can connect with people on a human level just by conversing with them in between songs and then connect with them on some of those secret levels that people carry inside themselves through my music, hopefully.
Is there one song right now on this tour so far that's connecting more than any others, or is there a song that is a favorite right now to play?
Yeah. It really seems like I've been playing this song I haven't played in a long time called Alive. It was about my ex-wife. That was probably one of the only love songs I've ever written. Love song being like, I singularly hold responsibility towards someone for helping me become a better person and to help put me on the path that I am now. And she absolutely did. But the reason I hadn't played it in a while is because thinking of that not existing anymore was really painful for me. But I think bringing that back into the mix, and I give a little bit of, I say kind of what I just said there on stage every night about it to give a little bit of context. And to be able to leave a situation like that with a completely full heart for that person, regardless of kind of anything, is the embodiment of playing that song now. So, and when I kind of tell that story and I can say that and then play it, I feel like it does really connect with people, and it feels like they get something out of it.
No, I just want to hear it live. I guess I'm going to have to buy a ticket. Go get it now. Remaining dates and tickets on sale for Too Chill to Kill and stream the brand new EP, Weakness, Etc.
That's it. You got it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
That was awesome.